out number one. We've seen a number of balls carry in that wind. It doesn't look like it's blowing at all. As you look out to the center field flagpole.
I guess the ball is just carrying well tonight. We mentioned that right there, and then the fly out back in the bottom half of the second inning out to center field by Stephen Scott. The ball looked like he got jammed on.
First pitch to Palamaki, misses low.
He was able to drive it out to the gap in left center field. Just had too much air under it.
Stinson winds the pitch. Ground ball down the first base line, past the diving Nootbaar and into right field. There to make the play is Brandon Riley as the ball gets away on the throw back to the infield, with Palamaki with a one-out knock.
Well, that single by Palamaki, almost a mirror image of the single by Olsen back in the first inning, except it was down the first base line instead of the third base line, with Nootbaar pulled off the line, playing easily 10 or so feet.
You saw the outfield grass knock that one down again as the next pitch clubbed out into the left center gap, making a diving stop but can't come up with it is Scott. His throw back to third is not in time. And that gives Jacob Olsen a one-out double. Puts runners on second and third with one away.
That wasn't a smart throw. No chance to get the speedy Palamaki at third. The throw came into third. It was offline, got away briefly from Romy Gonzalez, and that allowed Jacob Olsen to advance to second base. He probably will get credit with the double, but if the throw had gone into the middle of the infield, it would be first and third with one out instead of second and third.
Jimmy Herron ran all the way from center field to back that one up. He was placed perfectly. That brings up the three-hitter Shea Langoliers. First pitch to him, misses in the dirt. Great block by the backstop, Cesar Salazar, as he holds Palamaki at third base. One away, no score, top of the third inning. Anglers threatening, though. First base open. Powerful Langoliers at the plate. Next pitch, swing and a miss on a slider in the dirt. Count evens up at 1-1.
Stinson being tested here. First start of the season, second and third, one out. He's got to make a couple crucial pitches here to keep Chatham off the scoreboard.
Stinson sets. Here's his pitch. In the dirt again. That one almost got away from Salazar. He lost it for a second. It was right in front of him the whole time. 2-1 the count. Now Langoliers, a very impressive season at Baylor this year. 313 as a freshman, also went yard 10 times. He's a big guy. 6 foot 190. Looks even bigger than that, I'd say. Stinson's ready. Here's his 2-1. Low for ball 3. And Langoliers in the driver's seat. Hitters count for the righty against the lefty Stinson. Walk wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here, Noah.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say that. The only problem is the guy on deck, Patton, came in hitting .455.
Here's the 3-1. Slider for a strike on the outside half. Count is full. One away. Runners on second and third for Chatham.
Those friendlies, those corners rather, have been friendly to both pitchers thus far.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball over to the third base side. Waiting on is Gonzalez. Throw over to first in time, but scoring on the play is Palamaki. As that ball was chopped to the third baseman Gonzalez, he had no play at the plate. And that's the first run of the game, as Langoliers knocks in Palamaki on an RBI grounder. 1-0 Anglers.
That's a good play by Romy Gonzalez. High chopper to third. No play at all at the plate. Again, we mentioned Palamaki with a lot of speed, batting out of the leadoff spot. So made the smart play, made a strong throw over to Nootbaar, was able to hold the runner Olsen at second base. So one run, not the worst thing in the world here.
Here's Nick Patton with that runner on second, like you mentioned, Noah. First pitch to him, low and in. a base hit. Being waved around is Olsen. Throw to the plate is not in time and wide left. Holding at first, though, is Patton. And that's another RBI for the Anglers as they take a 2-0 lead in the third inning.
Nice piece of hitting by Patton. Got a 2-0 pitch he could handle, hit it right back up the middle. No chance, even with that thick grass on the infield for Holtby to make a play. Too much speed on the bases, so no chance for Heron to throw at Olsen. We see why Patton is leading Anglers in batting average.
And that just shows how hard that ball was hit with that thick grass. That motored through. First pitch to Austin Edens, in there for a strike on the inner half of the plate. 0-1 the count, 2 away. Patton stands as the lone Angler base runner on first base. He comes to a set, looks in, as we'll get a check over at first. Not in time as Patton gets back in standing up. Patton 8 of 13 in stealing bases this season at Delaware. Stinson's ready. Here's his 0-1. Hit out into deep left. Going back is Stroshine. Right before the warning track, he's got it, as that ball stays in the yard. But not before the Anglers tack on a pair in this third inning. 2-0 A's. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the third inning, Chatham just took a 2-0 lead over Orleans. A couple of singles and a double that brought home Palamaki and Olsen. Here's Romy Gonzalez. He's the first batter for the Firebirds this inning. He takes a strike down the middle from Luciani, count 0-1. Gonzalez had the day off yesterday. Went 1 for 3 against Wareham as he fouls one back. 0-2 the count.
It speaks to the inability of the Orleans offense so far this season to score runs, that 2 runs feels more like 4 from Chatham.
Gonzalez down 0-2. The pitch clubbed out into left field, a base hit as that one gears towards the corner. Gonzalez takes a wide turnaround first. And the leadoff man aboard for the first time this game for Orleans.
It's a nice piece of hitting. Got a ball down and in. Extended his hands, drove it down that left field line. Maybe that 3-run ninth against Bourne will wake up this Firebirds offense. The way Chatham scores runs, you know you're going to have to score a bunch of runs to have a chance to win tonight.
Here's Jeff Hope. First pitch to him. inside pitch is Langoliers. That ball away. 1-1 the count.
It's a good thing that Gonzalez didn't go, even though he does lead Orleans with 2 stolen bases. It was kind of a pseudo pitch out, up and away. Good ball for Langoliers to throw on. Gonzalez holds at first.
Next pitch. Low and away for ball 2. 2-1 the count. None away. Runner on first. Orleans trails Chatham 2-0 in the bottom of the third. Both those Anglers runs coming in the top of this frame. Here's the pitch. Up and away again. 3-1 the count. And with those Anglers runs, that ends a string of 22 straight scoreless innings by this Orleans pitching staff.
I guess Kelly was right. He did jinx it, Tyler.
3-1. Hit foul over the screen. Out of play. 3-2 the count.
I don't know what you were supposed to do there, not mention it. It was quite an impressive stat.
In my defense, though, if I did jinx it, it probably would have happened in the first or second inning. So I'll hold that to my name. Here's the 3-2 to Hopi. Gonzalez runs, hit out into shallow center. Coming in is Olsen, and he's there to make the catch as the throw goes back to first. Not in time. A lot closer, though, than Romy Gonzalez probably would have liked. He came in standing up, but Olsen made a running catch, and that's out number 1.
What a throw in from left field. That was on a line to the first baseman. Usually, don't want to see your outfielder make a throw like that. Not much of a chance to get Gonzalez at first base, but it was right on the money. If Gonzalez hadn't been hustling back to the base, he would have been thrown out.
Top of the order with Lars Nootbaar as a check over at first. Not in time. Nootbaar struck out looking back in the first. We've seen Gonzalez over at first base bluff a steal and then was running before Hotby hit that one in the air. Lights starting to come on here at Eldridge Park. Another throw over to first. Not in time as Gonzalez dives back in. Romy doesn't have a huge lead over there. Nootbaar taps the plate a couple of times. The lefty against the righty Luciani. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Nootbaar falls behind on the first pitch.
Nootbaar was the first victim in tonight's game of that called strike off the outside corner. He struck out looking back in the first inning on that pitch. We've seen it called several times since.
Another check over to first. Gonzalez slides in safely. And Nootbaar is certainly someone who will fall victim with a big strike zone. He likes to be very patient at the plate. Takes some very close pitches as well. Here's the 0-1. Hit foul back into the screen. 0-2 the count on Nootbaar. He can work back from this situation, though. We've seen it a number of times this year. One away in the bottom of the third, 2-0. Chatham holds the lead over Orleans. One away in the inning. Gonzalez the runner at first. Infield pinched up the middle, double play depth. And we'll get another throw over to first. Now, this is the point in an MLB game we hear the Boo Birds come out.
That's right. A lot more of a understanding crowd here on the Cape.
Very civil here at Eldridge Park. Here's the 0-2. Low and away for ball 1.
That pitch has been called a strike before tonight. Maybe that went just a little off the plate. A little too far off the plate, that is. Good eye by Nootbaar as he stays alive. We know he's got a great eye.
The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center. Coming in is Olsen. Drifts towards the left side, and it's going to be the left fielder Roberts to make the catch. Holding at first is Gonzalez, and that's the second out of the inning. So Gonzalez led off with a single. He's been stranded at first. Orleans tried to get him to steal, but he was sent back on a pitch that was hit in the air as Jimmy Herron digs in. second is in time. That ball beat Gonzalez by about 2 steps. That's the third out of the inning. Heron will lead off the fourth inning for Orleans. We go to the fourth. 2-0 Chatham. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Start the fourth inning. Chatham holds a 2-0 lead over Orleans. It'll be Corey Roberts, Ashton McGee, and Jimmy Titus. 6-7-8. First pitch. Ground ball off the mitt of Stinson, and there's going to be no play as Gonzalez tried to barehand that one back up the middle, but to no avail. Stinson probably would have been better off letting that ball go through. But tough luck defense there for Orleans, and that puts Roberts aboard at first with a leadoff infield single.
Well, usually that is the case, but that ball was hit pretty hard. It might have snuck up the middle.
Brings up Ashton McGee, the lefty, against the lefty Stinson. First pitch is hit foul down the left field line out of play. Just barely getting over that fence that goes onto Route 28. 0-1 the count on McGee. Struck out looking back in the second inning as we get a throw over to first. That's a bit low, but getting back in standing is Cody Roberts. I've seen both pitchers really keep a very watchful eye on all base runners. Here's the pitch. Up and in for ball one. Roberts, not much of a threat to steal over at first, although he was successful in all 5 of his attempts at Cal. The pitch. That ball just inside for ball 2. Salzer had to reach across his body a little bit for that one. Stinson already with 5 strikeouts, but ran into trouble back in the third inning, allowed both of those Chatham runs. Here's the pitch. Inside again, and it's 3-1.
Control's been a bit of an issue so far for Stinson. He has done a nice job of bouncing back on more than one occasion to get the out, but a couple walks so far. Don't want to walk a guy with a man on and nobody out.
Here's the pitch. Hit foul down the left field line. Makes the count full.
Ended up making a good pitch there as McGee fouls it off.
McGee plays his college ball at UNC. Hails from the state as well. Lefty to lefty. Here's the pitch. Ground ball over towards the left side, fielded by Hotby. He's got no play at second. Throw to first is in and out of the glove of Newtbar. I think McGee still would have beat that one out as Hotby, the shortstop, had some trouble on the transfer. wanted to go to second and hit Ethan Paul for a potential double play, but Ashton McGee aboard. We'll see how they rule that one. My guess is an infield hit, in which case that would preserve Orleans' 7-game streak without an error.
That was a good pitch by Stinson. He got his ground ball, but I'm not sure if that ball got caught in the webbing of Hope's glove or if he just couldn't get a grip on it.
Here's the pitch as it's grounded foul by Jimmy Titus. Trickled down the third base line. Runners on first and second, none away, as Chatham threatening again against Graham Stinson. Jake Wong warming up in the Orleans bullpen. Infield pinched up the middle. Corners in, the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Salazar. Good stop by the catcher. 1-1 the count.
He's made a couple nice plays behind there. You wonder if Chatham might look for a sacrifice bunt here from Titus, but he's already taken a cut, so it looks like they'll have him swing away.
Paul holding at second, the 1-1. Fouled away down the first base side, out of play. 1-2, as Stinson works ahead of the batter for the first time this inning. 2-0 Chatham over Orleans, top of the fourth inning. Stinson's pitch, again fouled away down the first base side. Young fan almost made a nice diving catch over on that hill. It's very packed today at Eldridge.
Still not anywhere near what we'll get when the calendar turns to July, but a very good showing for a mid-June game.
Stinson takes a couple looks. Now the pitch in the dirt. Gets away from Salazar. Going down to each station are the runners, as Roberts moves to third on the wild pitch. McGee down to second. That ball didn't get too far away from Salazar, just outside that dirt circle at home plate onto the grass, but unable to keep up with it was the catcher from Arizona.
Firebirds are in a difficult situation here. I hope that they can get out of this inning with only allowing one more run.
Infield drawn in. Here's the pitch. Fouled away again down the first base side. This is a good battle here between Titus and Stinson. Corners are in for the Orleans infield.
Titus has done a really good job of protecting that outside corner.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled away down the first base side again. Titus with 4 straight foul pitches. Lights are on at Eldridge. Sun hasn't fully set yet. A bit of daylight left. Here's the 2-2. Outside corner, got him looking. That's the 5th looking strikeout that Stinson has issued today. His 6th of the game.
Nice job by Stinson coming back after a wild pitch in the inning. Able to get the strikeout and maybe setting himself up from escaping this frame without allowing any damage.
Here's Jeremy Pena. Righty digs in. Flew out to right his first time up the pitch. Inside corner for a strike.
Good start to Pena. Got him to fly out in this last at-bat. Infielders in on the corners and about halfway up the middle.
Here's the pitch. Fouled away down the first base side, out of play. Gotta watch out if you're a car parked down on that first base side, especially after that at-bat by Jimmy Titus. Back in Orleans, Massachusetts, 3-0 the Anglers score as we have a new pitcher on in the middle of this fourth inning. Jake Wong, the righty from Grand Canyon University, has a bunt squared around and not connected with by Palamaki, the hitter, as on a bit of a safety squeeze there.
So YD lay one of those down when the two teams faced off for the second time here at Eldridge Park. It's back on Monday night.
Runners on first and third. Those are both Stinson's men. Here's the pitch, a pitch out, goes outside. One away in this top of the fourth inning. Palamaki, the batter, he singled and scored back in the third. Cody Roberts has scored off a single this inning. Ashton McGee, the runner at third, and Jeremy Pena, who reached on a drop third strike. As Pena runs, line drive up the middle, a diving play by Hopi, throw over to first in time to get a huge inning-ending double play for the Firebirds. What a diving snag by Jeff Hopi, right place, right time. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-0. Orleans trails Chatham. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Great inning-ending line drive catch by Jeff Hopi as he dove across the diamond. Keeps this one a 3-0 Chatham lead as Orleans sends Jimmy Herron, Brandon Riley, and Cesar Salazar to the plate. First pitch to Herron. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Herron was at the plate before Gonzalez was caught stealing off of a pitch out. That ended the third inning, so Herron gets another crack at it in the fourth as he fouls one down the first base side out of play. But Jeff Hopi flashing the leather early on. That one may have saved 2 runs. Herron down 0-2. Luciani, the pitcher, to the righty Herron. Ground ball to third base. Takes a wicked hop, but fielded by Titus, who throws over to first in time. Good adjustment by the third baseman, Jimmy Titus, as that ball hopped in on his left shoulder. Had to make that adjustment. And with one away, brings up Brandon Riley.
It's a really nice play. You don't see too many bad hops here at Eldridge, but that one caught the lip. Hopped up probably 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and a nice play by Titus, as you mentioned. Kind of fielding it basket style off to his left.
Here's Riley. He takes a ball outside. Riley singled back in the first inning, has one of the 3 Firebirds hits. The only base runner not erased today. Next pitch. Breaking ball drops in for a strike on the outer half. 1-1 the count on Riley. 3-0 Chatham. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside corner strike. 1-2. Riley, the lefty from UNC. base for the second time.
Riley really has come into his own over the past few games. Had a hit yesterday. Now on base twice today.
Here's Cesar Salazar. He flied out to center, hit the ball hard his first time up. A lot of deep fly balls as the wind's starting to pick back up here. Here's the first pitch to Salazar. He watches one outside. 1-0.
We mentioned a good crowd on hand tonight. Official attendance for tonight's game, 943. So that's a new best in 2017 for the Firebirds at home.
We'll see the 1,000 mark crack soon as Salazar fouls one down the left field line out of play. Once we get to around 4th of July, that's when this Cape Cod population quadruples.
As a local, I do not like that. Traffic is horrible. But we do get really good crowds at these games.
Salazar in the lefty box against the righty Luciani. Here's the pitch. Taken outside for a strike on the outside corner. Another delayed call by Lima. Count is 1-2. One away. Riley, the runner, on first base. Infield shaded up the middle. Salazar, the cleanup hitter. Here's the pitch. Upstairs for ball 2. Count moves to 2-2.
Nice at bat so far by Salazar. He's been patient, not swinging at that called strike away. Not a pitch that he can really drive. Not a pitch you want to swing at with less than 2 strikes.
Here's the 2-2. Line drive over to the second baseman, caught and thrown over to first, but the throw is high. Tried to get Brandon Riley too far off the bag. Looked like McGee had a good play at it, but couldn't get it over in time. Big break there for the Firebirds.
Riley got lucky. Ventured too far off of first base. Looked like he assumed that would go through. But a nice play made, as you mentioned, by the second baseman McGee. But his throw pulling Patton off the base, and Riley is able to return safely and keep the inning alive.
That brings up Stephen Scott. Let's see if the Firebirds can make them pay. First pitch misses in the dirt. Scott looks at ball 1. Scott 0 for 1 today with a fly out to center. Was 0 for 1 against Bourne yesterday with a walk. Getting the start today in left field. Runner goes as Scott skies one foul down the third base line. 1-1 the count with 2 away in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-0 Chatham leads over Orleans. Lights taking full effect at Eldridge Park. Wind blowing right to left. Luciani, the starter, deals. Inside corner strike as Langoliers had to reach across his body, set up on the outside. Count is 1-2. Kevin Stroshine sits on deck. He's already got a single today. The Firebirds would love to get him to the plate in this one. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses up and away. That ball didn't quite cut the way Luciani would have liked it to. Evens the count at 2-2. Infield up the middle. Riley, the runner on first, he walked. He's got his hands on his knees. Luciani readies and the pitch. Hit in the air, foul out of play behind the backstop as Scott stays alive on a pitch that jammed him inside. Orleans has won 3 straight. Gonna need to do it in comeback fashion today if they want to make it 4. Here's the pitch. Hit foul back into the screen.
7th pitch right here. See if he can get something to drive.
He is a lefty, and there is a bit of a hole on that right side of the infield with the second baseman McGee shaded up the middle. Here's the pitch. Low and in for ball 3. Count is full. Riley will run with the pitch.
So far in this game, Orleans has done a nice job with working counts, but just unable to cash in.
Outfield straight away. Here's the 3-2. Hit in the air out to left. Going back towards the fence is Roberts, and he's got just enough room to make the catch as that ball was picked up by the wind. Carried pretty deep, but Roberts able to corral it for out number 3. Firebirds go down quietly. They trail 3-0 to Chatham. We go to top of the 6th inning. Top of the 5th, rather, here at Eldridge Park. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 5th inning at Eldridge Park. 3-0 the score in favor of Chatham. Orleans sends Jake Wong out to the mound for another inning of work. He got a big double play that ended the inning on a line out on a diving play by Hotby. First pitch to the 2-hitter Jacob Olson, in there for a strike.
Olson's been a problem so far. A couple hits against Graham Stinson.
Here's the pitch from Wong. Misses inside. 1-1 the count.
Of course, he was thrown out at second base on a great play by left fielder Stephen Scott.
Here's the 1-1 to Olson. Grabs the outside corner for a strike. 1-2.
You're right about the delayed strike calls. I just think it's Lima's style the more I watch him. Takes a couple seconds before he makes a call.
1-2 in the dirt on a breaking ball. Good 2-strike pitch there from Wong. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball. That sets down Olson for the first out of the inning. As Wong picks up his first strikeout of the game.
That's a nice sequence by Wong there. Good pitch on 2-2. Elevated a little bit with a fastball above the belt away from Olson and blew it right past him.
Here comes Shea Langoliers. First pitch to him. Fastball pumps in for a strike. Wong throwing strikes early. That seemed to be the problem with him against Falmouth in game 1 of that doubleheader. Here's the 0-1. Foul ball back towards the third base dugout. 0-2 the count. Wong working ahead. Nothing. Orleans leads in the top of the 5th inning. As Wong winds, he fires. Low and away on a fastball. 1-2. Ball gets away from Wong on the throw back. Infield playing very deep at the corners. Outfield straight away. up, and that ball goes off the wall. Digging for two is Langoliers, and he's there with a stand-up double.
That's a bomb by Langoliers. Again, it's 434 to straightaway center. That was to the right center field side. Gotta think, 375, 380 in the air. On a night where the ball has been traveling really well, that ball was crushed.
That ball's out at most ballparks in that right center area. I might even stretch you, that ball was 390. Especially with the way this wind's been carrying. Here's Nick Patton. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single back in the third. Langolier gets his lead at second, being shadowed by the second baseman Paul. First pitch in the dirt for ball one.
You knew that double was hit deep when Jimmy Herron didn't even bother reaching his glove up. He just turned around and sprinted after it.
Herron has very good range out in center field. Not a lot of balls he can't get to, especially those that hang in the air. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike on a fastball, outer half. 1-1 the count. 1-1. One away. 3-0 Chatham, with the Anglers threatening again with a runner on second. Patton calls time. Wind starting to blow out towards that center field. Infield back deep. Here's the 1-1. Grounded foul behind the batter's circle. Patton down 1-2 against Wong. Already has one strikeout today.
He blew away Olsen to lead off this inning. We'll see if he can get something past Patton, but again, Patton coming in hitting 455. He's already got a sharp single on the night. Difficult out here in this Chatham lineup.
Wong gets his signs from the catcher Salazar. Comes to his set. Takes a look back at second. Here's his 1-2. Inside corner, strike three. He got him. That's his second fan of the game.
Well, these hitters have to learn. That's been a strike all night, inside and outside, right off the corner. And ringing up Patton was Lima right there. Another backwards K. We've seen a bunch of them on both sides tonight.
Brings up Austin Edens with 2 away and a runner on second. Chatham leading 3-0 over the Firebirds. First pitch to Edens. Fastball for a strike. Edens 0 for 1 today. He flew out to left, also walked. Wong comes to his set, works very deliberately on the mound. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, just a bit too tall. Ball didn't come into the zone quick enough, and that makes the count 1-1.
Only 5 2/3 innings into the, or 4 2/3 innings into this game. Chatham has struck out 6 times.
Here's the pitch. Misses low and away for ball one.
Struck out looking 6 times, rather.
And no, it's interesting you bring that up. It's usually Orleans that struggles with the strikeouts. We saw in game 1, 13 punch-outs. That's nearly half the outs against Brewster. However, much better yesterday, only 6 strikeout victims for the Firebirds, so that's certainly gotten better. Here's the 2-1. Fastball for a strike, 2-2.
Well, from what we've seen tonight, if you don't strike out these Chatham hitters, they're going to rip the ball somewhere. Even a lot of the outs that have been put in play so far have been really hard hit. That line drive up the middle to Hotby comes to mind.
Here's the 2-2 from Wong. Got him looking on an outside corner strikeout. That's his third of the inning, the second of the looking variety. And that strands a 1-out double from Shea Langoliers. He stayed on second that entire inning. We We go to the bottom of the fifth, 3-0 Anglers. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Back at Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts, we move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Chatham leads 3-0. New wing for the Anglers is Nick Silva out of Maine. He'll make his second appearance of the summer. He's only thrown 2 innings so far. No runs, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out a pair. As Stroshine will dig in, he singled and was erased on a double play back in the second inning. First pitch is up and away, and Silva's night begins with a ball. Silva actually the nephew of Alex Rodriguez. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled back, and that caught the umpire, as Lima will take a walk to shake it off, as going to the mound to talk to Silva is Langoliers. Well, the final line on the Chatham starter, Taylor Luciani, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 1. As Langoliers will return to his spot behind the plate, as Lima has shaken off a stinger that looked like it caught him on the upper arm. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Silva, swung on a high chopper to short. Play made by Pena. The throw to first is in time for the first out of the inning. 6-3 on the ground out. That will bring up Ethan Paul, the second baseman out of Vanderbilt. Grounded into a 6-3 double play on a hard hit ball up the middle back in the second inning. Grabbed his first 2 hits of the season in last night's win over Bourne. Couple doubles, had an RBI, scored a run. As Silva kicks and fires, swung on and chopped foul wide of first. 0-1 the count. Paul came in hitting 143 with just those 2 doubles. Played for Orleans last season, his second go-around with the Firebirds. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 1-1 the count. Was a .252 hitter in 34 games with Orleans last season.
Also an all-star.
Had a very good season. Plus defender, as he takes a breaking ball up and away.
Let's go, EP. Here go 9.
2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, 5th inning. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. Graham Stinson on the hook at the moment for the Firebirds. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped foul, and that will get out of play right off of Route 28. That one got caught up in the lights and just faded out of play. 2-2 the count as Paul will take back in from the left-hand side. Sophomore from Bellevue, Washington. Silva kicks and fires. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count stays at 2-2. First of 6 meetings between Orleans and Chatham. They'll play a home and home on July 4th and 5th. And play each other in a home and home in the last 2 days of the season, as there's a swing and a foul tip that hit the dirt before Langoliers could grab it, so Paul stays alive. And Ethan Paul will see a 7th pitch in this at-bat. Silva is ready once again. The 2-2, swung on and fouled back again. Good at-bat put together here by Ethan Paul. So he'll take a walk behind the home plate umpire before he settles back into the batter's box. Romy Gonzalez on deck. If either he or Paul can get on, then Jeff Hotby would hit. Here's the 2-2 once again. Swung on and fouled off again. That one onto Route 28 as it hit a mailbox beyond the street behind us.
Guess that's better than a car.
Well, we'll see one hit a car eventually. That was close. That was between 2 cars. As the property beyond Route 28, right next to the field, gets a lot of foul balls. Count is still 2-2 on Ethan Paul, who's worked quite an at-bat here. Here's the pitch from Silva. Breaking ball, caught the outside corner, strike 3. A good pitch by Silva, and he wins the battle with Ethan Paul. There's 2 outs here in the 5th.
Paul knew it on that pitch, too. After facing a lot of fastballs in that at-bat, just thrown off guard by that breaking ball that started out a little up above the belt and just tailed its way into the zone.
Romy Gonzalez, 1 for 1. He singled and was caught stealing back in the 3rd inning. Hard hit single out down the left field line. Looks for his 2nd hit. And that one's in at the knees for a strike. 0-1 the count. Temporary player out of Miami. Here's the pitch. Big breaking ball, misses high. Counts 1-1. Gonzalez playing 3rd base. We've seen him DH. We've seen him play 2nd base so far. We've seen him play 1st base. All around the infield. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner right at the knees. And Silva is a strike away from a perfect 5th inning.
We've seen that breaking ball freeze a number of Orleans hitters.
1-2. Swung on and ripped it to right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Played on a hop by Palamaki, who was again shaded toward right center. And it's a 2nd single for Romy Gonzalez, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Jeff Hotby. As he looks for his 1st hit of the evening. So Orleans tries to keep the inning alive. Hard hit single right over the head of the 2nd baseman, McGee. As Gonzalez uses the opposite field, we'll see if he tries to steal again here. He holds, and the first pitch is down and in for ball 1. He was caught stealing. He got a decent jump, but a pitch out gave Langoliers a clear view of 2nd base, and he threw Gonzalez out by plenty back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-0 to Hotby. Swung on and grounded foul wide of 1st. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
But don't let that caught stealing fool you on Gonzalez's speed. That pitch was a pitch out that he was thrown out on. Gonzalez doesn't get a huge lead over at 1st and was beat by about 2 steps to the bag, I would say. But, I mean, when you factor in all those intangibles, shows how fast Gonzalez can motor.
The 1-1, breaking ball stays high. Gonzalez was 13 for 16 on stolen bases this season at Miami. A bright spot in a tough season for the Hurricanes. missing the NCAA tournament for the first time in 44 years. Gonzalez is a good player. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped down the right field line. That's going to get down and roll all the way to the fence around second, and coming into third and holding there is Romy Gonzalez. The throw into second gets away. Here comes Gonzalez. He's going to score on the error by the right fielder, Palamaki. And Orleans get a run as Chatham tried to throw out the runner Hotby at second base. The throw went over the head of the shortstop Pena. And with a little help from Chatham's defense, Orleans is on the board.
I'm going to give a little bit of credit to Jeff Hotby there, not just for the hit, but for the slide at second. I think it kind of distracted Pena as Hotby was coming in. It was a clean baseball play, but he went straight in for the bag and looked like it took Pena by surprise that he was there so quickly. He went to the ground and was a little slow coming up as that ball got away.
Back to the top of the order with Newt Barr. 0 for 2. Big breaking ball in for a strike. So Orleans is on the board. A single by Gonzalez, a double by Hotby, and then scoring on the throwing error is Gonzalez from third base as they try to chip away at this Chatham lead. It's 3-1 as we play in the bottom of the fifth. There's a breaking ball that misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not to mention all of this has come with 2 outs.
Orleans have had trouble, as we've mentioned many times, of scoring runners when they put them on base, but they get a big one here. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. As that one fell off the table, started at the knees, and ended up at the shoe tops of Lars Newtbar, and he's in the hole 1-2. So the run charge to Nick Silva, his first run allowed this season in his second appearance. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Langoliers, and the count runs to 2-2.
If that ball gets away from Langoliers, that completely shifts the dynamic of this inning. Because we see it's tough to score on a single here at Eldridge Park. Not too deep to left or right. Center, though, a different story.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball stays high. Newtbar has worked the count full.
Once again, Newtbar working his way all the way back from down in the count with 2 strikes. Let's see if he can capitalize here.
3-1 Chatham here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Runner on second, 2 down. Here's the payoff pitch to Newtbar. Swinging a ground ball back to Silva. He's got it, and he'll toss to first for the third out. But Orleans is on the board. A double off the bat of Jeff Hotby, and then a throwing error allows Romy Gonzalez to score from first. We're through 5 innings here at Eldridge Park. 3-1 Chatham on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, as here's a bunt to lead off the inning by Roberts. Wong's up with it. He throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out as Cody Roberts tries to get the Orleans defense napping. But he bunted it right back to Wong, who made a composed play, and he threw on to first for the first out. And that'll bring up Ashton McGee. He's 1 for 2. Struck out looking back in the second and singled, but was stranded at third back in the fourth.
Jake Wong bouncing back after a rough game against Falmouth.
It's been good so far. Did give up a double back in the fifth, but nothing else. Here's the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. Did get some help from a fine defensive play by Hotby diving up the middle. 6-3 double play, which ended the fourth inning. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, picked by Salazar.
And sometimes that's all you need is a good defensive play behind you, because you know you can throw strikes then. You don't have to do all the work yourself, although Wong does have 3 strikeouts.
There's the 1-1. That misses away. 2 balls, 1 strike on Ashton McGee out of North Carolina. That single back in the fourth, his first hit of the season. He's now 1 for 10. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. 2-2 the count. McGee and Roberts, both from North Carolina. Brandon Riley on Orleans is out of North Carolina, as is Taylor Sugg, Josh Hyatt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lashed foul into the Chatham dugout. And I do not think that hit anybody, at least on the line. That was hit very sharply. No time to react. I think that one went directly to the back wall.
Heard the thud. I thought that just hit off the brim of it.
2-2 the count. Wong kicks and delivers. Strike 3 over the outside corner. Another backwards K for Chatham. And another strikeout for Orleans pitching. That is the 8th looking strikeout for the Anglers tonight. As down goes Ashton McGee for the second out of the 6th inning. That will bring up Jimmy Titus. He's responsible for one of those strikeouts. Also struck out swinging. As he takes a strike. These hitters not learning. Got to protect that outside corner. It's been a strike all night. Here's the 0-1. And that one misses off the inside corner. 1-1 the count. Jimmy Pena on deck. In the top of the order. Swung on and chopped foul. Caught Titus on his foot and then up on his arm. And the count's 1-2, so Wong a strike away here. As he looks in, the right-hander kicks and delivers. Swung on and fouled off. That'll reach the throngs of people down the first baseline. Again, 943 on hand to watch this game tonight. Here's the pitch. Check swing liner. That's foul. Wide of the Orleans dugout. So back-to-back foul balls off the bat of Jimmy Titus as he stays alive. Wong working quickly is ready. And here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Should be routine for Ethan Paul. He's up with it. On to first in time to get the speedy Titus. And the inning is over. So a shutdown inning after Orleans gets on the board for Wong. We've played 5 1/2, 3-1 Chatham. This is Orleans Firebirds Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. back at Eldridge Park as we move on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jimmy Herron, Brandon Riley, Cesar Salazar due up for Orleans. Herron digs in, 0 for 2. He popped out to the shortstop back in the 1st inning, grounded out to 3rd in the 4th. Came in batting .462. Most prolific hitter in this Orleans lineup. First pitch from Silva is in for a strike over the inside corner. Silva a little bit of trouble in the 5th inning, though the run that scored was unearned. Single and a double to the bottom part of the order as Herron turns away from a breaking ball, and the count evens up at 1-1. Romy Gonzalez scoring the only Orleans run thus far tonight. As we play here in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch, showing bunt is Herron, and he did offer according to Lima, and the count is 1-2.
Titus, the third baseman, playing almost at that outfield grass. We saw Herron laid one down for a bunt yesterday. Got aboard safely. He's got some wheels.
1-2 from Silva. Swung on in line down the left field line. That's going to get down. A fair ball. Wide turnaround first, and holding there is Jimmy Herron as the ball skips away once again. But backing up the play was the first baseman, Patton. So it's a leadoff single off the bat of Jimmy Herron, and now Brandon Riley will dig in. Riley's reached base twice, single in the 1st, walk in the 4th. So another leadoff base runner reaches for Orleans. That was the case back in the 3rd when Romy Gonzalez led off with a single.
And for Herron, he's now reached in every single game, keeping that alive.
Here's Brandon Riley, swung on and fouled off. Count is 0-1 on the right fielder from North Carolina, who got off to a slow start in the first couple games, but has turned it up recently. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, blocked by Langoliers. Count evens up at 1-1. Salazar on deck, and then Steven Scott for Orleans. As they look to cut into the 3-1 Chatham lead. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bluffing at first, and now that ball skips away from Langoliers up to second easily is Jimmy Herron. On a ball that looked like it clipped the front edge of home plate. And now time is called by the pitcher Silva, as up to second goes Herron. That should be a wild pitch. Nothing at all that the catcher Langoliers could do about that, and the count is 2-1.
We've seen the left on bases, especially with runners in scoring position, plague Orleans all year.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. That's going to find center field. A base hit. Herron around 3rd. He's being waved in. The throw is bobbled out in center field as Olsen geared up to throw and couldn't find the handle. In to score is Jimmy Herron. It's an RBI single for Brandon Riley, and it's 3-2 Chatham.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Riley seems to come up with the timely hits. I know Orleans has struggled to execute, but Riley's been so consistent in that position so far for the Firebirds, and he does it once again right there. Just sends a ball right back up the middle. That grass slows it enough for Herron to make his way all the way around. So it works both ways with that thick grass.
3rd RBI of the season for Brandon Riley. And now we're going to get a conference on the mound. And while we have a break, we'll update you on the other Cape League games that are either in action or have been completed. The finals, Brewster tops Wareham 9-2. YD over Katuitt 5-3. Bourne beats Harwich 3-2, which means if Orleans can win, then they would move ahead of Harwich in the standings. The only other game in action right now in the top of the 9th, Falmouth leads Hyannis 10-5. It's 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBI single by Brandon Riley up the middle scores Jimmy Herron, as a wild pitch comes back to haunt Nick Silva, who is responsible for both Orleans runs, though only one of them is earned.
You bring up the standings there, Noah. If Orleans can get a couple more runs in and take this one, not only would they leapfrog Harwich, but also Chatham if you take into account the head-to-head matchup.
Salazar takes a ball low.
Both these teams would have 8 points.
Want to know the count. It is early, so easy to make up ground in the standings. Orleans have come alive after starting the season 0-4. They're 3-1 since. Trying to make that 4-1. Here's the pitch to Salazar. Swung on and ripped into deep right field. Palamaki back at the fence. That ball is gone. It's a go-ahead 2-run home run off the bat of Cesar Salazar, his first of the summer. And Orleans leads 4-3.
And that ball got out in a hurry. Salazar put some great wood on that one and connected. And that just might be the spark Orleans needs moving forward as they take the lead. We've seen him hit the ball hard all year long, and that's just another one right there. I mean, the sound off of that bat was something else.
Well, it is a short porch out in right field. 314 down the line, but that was hit to straightaway right and hit right on the nose by Salazar. As he got all of it. As it clears that fence over the head of Palamaki. Just to the right of the Orleans bullpen, and the Firebirds take a 4-3 lead as showing bunt is Steven Scott. He drops it down. Silva off to field. That throw to first is just in time to retire Steven Scott. And that is the first out of the inning as Scott is now 0-for-3 on the night. That'll bring up Kevin Stroshine for his second at bat. He's 1-for-2, singled in the second and grounded out in the fifth.
And for Scott right there, not the fastest guy on the Orleans roster, not a guy who you usually see lay down a bunt, but maybe they thought that this pitcher is a little rattled, might make an errant throw.
Fouled off by Stroshine. Also, you have to think, Scott has been struggling at the plate so far. Sometimes a bunt or a bloop hit is what you need to break out of a funk, but unable to get on base there as Stroshine takes a ball. Breaking ball misses high. 1-0 the count. So Salazar, his first home run of the season, has the Firebirds ahead 4-3. Here's the pitch to Stroshine. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a strike. So Orleans, who looked like they were in trouble down 3-0, unable to get anything going offensively, have scored 4 runs over the last 2 innings, and they take the lead, their first of the night. And it looks like that 3-run 9th inning against Bourne has carried over as they continue to drive in runners that they left on base in the early part of the season. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kevin Stroshine with 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off to the right. That will reach the crowd. Count stays at 2-2. Stroshine came in hitting at .217. Had a nice day against Falmouth in the first game of the doubleheader. Here's the pitch from Silva. Breaking ball grounded down the third base line. That's a foul ball. Sliding play made by Titus, but it won't matter. So Stroshine battling. 6 pitch at bat up to this point. Ethan Paul on deck. 1 out in the inning. Already 3 runs in for Orleans. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off again. Another breaking ball. Stroshine gets a piece. Count stays at 2-2 to the designated hitter out of Tennessee Tech. As he digs back in, a long look in. Now Silva gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball away. Nick Silva wins the battle for the second out of the inning. It's a strikeout for Silva as he records his second of the night. And that will bring up Ethan Paul. 0-for-2. He was the other strikeout victim. He's also grounded into a double play on a hard hit ball up the middle. That came back in the second inning. Here's the pitch from Silva. That's taken for a strike. A breaking ball that catches the inside corner. 0-1. It's the second baseman out of Vanderbilt in his second year with the Firebirds, batting from the left-hand side. Here's the pitch. It's a ball in the dirt. Count evens up at 1-1.
We've seen some two-out production today already from Orleans in the last inning. I have a feeling 4 runs is not going to be enough to win this ball game.
Here's the pitch, and Paul takes the ball high. 2-1 the count. He can get on. Romy Gonzalez would bat. He scored the first Orleans run back in the 5th inning on an error, which was credited to the second baseman McGee. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left. Count evens up at 2-2. Bottom of the 6th here at Eldridge Park, 4-3 Firebirds. Orleans ahead on a 2-run home run by Cesar Salazar. Silva ready. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Another one over the outside corner called for strike 3 by Mark Lima, the home plate umpire, and Ethan Paul is retired, but not before Orleans puts 3 runs on the board. 2/3 of the way through this one, Firebirds lead the Anglers 4-3 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts, Firebirds have jumped ahead. A 2-run home run off the bat of Cesar Salazar has Orleans in the lead. It's 4-3 as we move to the top of the 7th inning. New pitcher for Orleans out of North Carolina, Brett Daniels, makes his second appearance for Orleans this season. Pitched 2 innings so far on the summer, giving up 1 run on 3 hits. Also has a strikeout. That closes the book on Jake Wong as the number 9 hitter Jeremy Pena digs in, and he swings and rips one foul off to the right. Final line on Jake Wong, who is in line for the win. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Did get some help on a double play by Jeff Hopey diving up the middle. Here's the pitch, and Pena takes the ball outside. So this game turned on its head. Chatham was in control. A good start put together by Luciani, but Nick Silva's given up 4 runs out of the bullpen as that's fouled off the bat of Pena, and the count's 1-2.
A great bounce-back performance for Jake Wong. He really struggled against the Commodores, got the loss in that matchup, He looked good out of the gate against Falmouth, but then the wheels came off. But 2 2/3, very impressive innings.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball down and away, and down goes Jeremy Pena. He strikes out for the first time, and it's another angler strikeout. And with one out in the inning, that'll bring up the top of the order as Jake Palamaki digs in. 1 for 3, struck out looking in the first, singled and scored in the third, and lined out into that inning-ending double play to Hotby back in the fourth. So another strikeout, 12 on the night for Orleans pitching, and the pitch misses up and away to Palamaki, and the count is 1-0.
In the last 2 at-bats, it's worth noting, Palamaki, that single was hit hard, and when he lined into a double play, probably should have been a base hit.
Swung on and grounded foul wide of first. 1 ball and 1 strike. The right fielder out of Boston College came in hitting .263, had a rough game yesterday, went 0 for 4 in that loss to Yarmouth Dennis. Here's the pitch, that misses high. 2-1 the count. Daniels out of North Carolina. One of actually 4 Firebirds playing for the Tar Heels. There's a strike on a fastball over the outside corner. Count is 2-2. The latest Tar Heel to arrive, however, as he joins the 3 that we mentioned earlier. Here's the 2-2. That's over the outside corner, strike 3. And Palamaki didn't like it, but that's been the strike zone all night. And it's bewildering that these Chatham hitters, and to a similar extent, some of the Orleans hitters have not picked up on that, as we've seen a lot of strike 3 calls over the outside corner.
Yeah, I mean, the punch out has been the preferred method of out so far today for Orleans.
First pitch to Jacob Olson is a strike.
Already 13. We're in the middle of the 7th inning.
Orleans pitchers have, or at least came into the day, second in strikeouts behind only Falmouth. And there's a breaking ball that misses away.
13 of the 20 outs, and I'm no mathematician, but I believe that's 65%.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Daniels kicks and fires. There's a strike. Breaking ball drops in, and it's 1-2.
It also helps when your pitchers are throwing strikes, and we're seeing a bit of a bigger zone from the home plate umpire, Mark Lima.
This Orleans bullpen showing up once again tonight. Here's the pitch, and that just missed below the knees. Fastball from Brett Daniels, and the count's 2-2. Digging back in from the right-hand side. Here's the pitch, and that is swung on and fouled off. That will reach the crowd. Down the right field line off the bat of Olson. Count stays at 2-2. Chatham came in 4-3 after a tough loss last night. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded wide of third. It's a foul ball. Coming up on a 7-pitch at bat here for Jacob Olson. Well, an Orleans win, as we mentioned earlier, moves them out of the cellar, as Harwich lost earlier today. Here's the 2-2. That's up and away. Count runs full.
It's never too early to standings watch, in my opinion. I don't know about you, Noah.
No, never too early. It's fun to overreact. And there was a lot of overreacting when Orleans started 0-4. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike 3 call. Off-speed pitch over the inside corner, and Brett Daniels comes in and strikes out the side. 2 of them looking. He gets Palamaki and Olson without a swing. We've played 6.5. Time to stretch here in Orleans. Firebirds 4, Anglers 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Orleans holding on to a 4-3 lead over Chatham. New pitcher for the Anglers is Eli Naples out of Millersville University. You can close the book on Nick Silva, who is in line for the loss. 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Did not walk anybody and struck out 3. The big blow being the 2-run home run by Cesar Salazar. Coming in the 6th inning, Orleans putting up 3 runs in the frame to take the lead. Here's Romy Gonzalez batting from the right-hand side. First pitch from Naples is a strike. Swing and a miss from Romy Gonzalez, and the count is 0-1.
And the home runs have been torching Chatham these last 2 games. That makes it 5 in the last 2.
Here's the pitch. Gonzalez takes a ball off the outside corner. Well, you mentioned home runs. Go-ahead home run tonight for Orleans and a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning yesterday for YD off the bat of Nico Horner. Swung on and lined up the middle, a base hit by Romy Gonzalez, who's 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a run scored up to this point, and he is on with nobody out, and that'll bring up Jeff Hotby, who flew out to center back in the 3rd and doubled in the 5th, and that double would lead to Romy Gonzalez scoring. An error charge to McGee at second base as he overthrew his shortstop Pena, which allowed Romy Gonzalez to come around and score. Runner on first, nobody out. Naples a long look in and delivers. Swung on and fouled off by Jeff Hotby. Looked like that might have caught his foot.
You mentioned that 3 for 3 night for Romy Gonzalez, 3 base hits tonight. He's really fallen victim to the strikeout. He's been shuffled in and out of this Orleans lineup, Noah, and I think when you have days like that, I have a feeling Kelly Nicholson's penciling him in against Wareham tomorrow.
Here's the 0-1. Check swing. He went around, according to Mark Lima, the home plate umpire. 0-2 on Hotby. Nootbaar on deck. And then Jimmy Herron, assuming we don't have a double play. No balls and 2 strikes on Hotby. Naples ready, and now checks on Gonzalez, who's back easily with the dive. 0-2. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Firebirds 4, Anglers 3. 4 unanswered runs for Orleans. Here's the pitch. That's inside. A little bit low as well, as Langoliers picked that off the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hotby. Shortstop from San Diego. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on an off-speed pitch off the outside corner. Kind of a late wave by Hotby. And he becomes the first out of the 7th inning.
That was a good 2-strike pitch to Hotby. He peppered him with fastballs all at bat, and then he comes in with the breaking ball. Hotby way out in front of that one.
Naples making his 2nd appearance through 2 innings so far this season. Struck out 4 and earned the save. Here's the pitch, and it's a bunt into fair territory. The throw down to second base is picked by the second baseman Brown, and now we're going to get Mark Lima calling this back. He says it hits home plate, so it's a foul ball.
Interesting there, because we saw the field umpire Mike Rabideau didn't make a call down at second base. I guess he knew from the get-go that ball would be fouled, because I think Gonzalez would have been called out.
It's an interesting strike. It's 0-1. Long look in for Naples, and he delivers. Nootbaar takes the ball. There's a pickoff attempt at first, and back is Gonzalez just ahead of the tag. Good throw by the catcher Langoliers, but just getting back was Gonzalez. Throw couldn't have been much better. The tag applied quickly by Patton. 1-1 the count on Lars Nootbaar. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hooked foul wide of first. Now ahead 1-2 is Eli Naples looking to work around the leadoff single by Romy Gonzalez. No action in the Orleans bullpen. It looks like it'll be Brett Daniels' game into the 8th inning, and then if Orleans holds the lead, we can assume that his college teammate Josh Hyatt will come in. Here's the pitch, and that's inside as popping out of the way was Lars Nootbaar. Count evens up at 2-2.
Nobody warming now, but you'd expect Hyatt to come in a situation like this.
Assuming that Orleans does not put a bunch of runs on the board between now and then. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to first. Took a funny hop. Play was made. The throw to second base is off the glove of Pena. But a nice play at first by Patton as he caught that on a high hop, tagged the base, and tried to throw to second base. It would have been a tag play, but it deflects off the glove of Jeremy Pena, the shortstop, and into second base safely is Romy Gonzalez. And now Jimmy Herron, who is 1 for 3, has reached base safely in every game he has played in so far, was left out for the opener.
I think left out is maybe a little harsher of a term. He was awaiting his draft status, was picked. We're happy he's here with us in Orleans.
Here's the pitch, and he takes a ball off the outside corner. 2 down. On second base is Romy Gonzalez. He led off the inning with a single. Advanced to second on the ground out by Nootbaar. Herron appearing in his 8th game of the season as Naples checks on Gonzalez, now delivers. That's a ball that misses low. 2 balls, no strikes. Good hitters count for Jimmy Herron.
An insurance run would be huge here because these Chatham bats came in batting over 300 as a team.
Herron has scored a run tonight. That was on RBI single by Brandon Riley in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Jimmy Herron, but Naples blows it by him, and the count is 2-1.
He's got a lot of open space over on that right side as McGee is holding on. Gonzalez out at second. Herron can go to all fields. We see a number of hits to left field, but he has opposite field power.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes, so a good sequence after falling behind 2-0 by Eli Naples. As he gets 2 swings and misses from Jimmy Herron. Now he's back in it. The count's 2-2. The righty comes to the set. And here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off back to the screen. Count stays alive. Count stays at 2-2 as Herron stays alive.
And if you're Herron, just get on base at any cost right now, because Brandon Riley's had the timely hitting, already has an RBI tonight. He's on deck.
So we'll do it again. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Naples. Swung on and ripped down the left field line, but foul. Good contact again by Jimmy Herron. And we will see a 7th pitch in this at-bat.
That's not where you want to put the ball to Jimmy Herron. Low and in. We've seen him golf that one in the past and rip it on a line for some doubles.
Leads the team in doubles. Leads the team in extra base hits. As Naples asks Langoliers to go through the signs again with Gonzalez out at second base. Now the 2-2 pitch once again to Jimmy Herron. Taken for a ball low. Chatham dugout wanted it. 3-2. Well, you don't want to deal with Herron in this situation, but you also don't want to deal with the guy on deck, Brandon Riley, who's been red hot. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's collected an RBI, scored a run, reached base 3 times. But before he digs in, here's the payoff pitch to Herron. Taken for ball 4, missed off the outside corner, and they're on first and second with 2 out, and here comes Brandon Riley.
Good battle there by Jimmy Herron, work his way back all the way down 1-2. He was patient. He fouled off some pitches. This is the guy you want at the plate now. Brandon Riley has been stellar for Orleans these past couple of games.
Had an RBI single back in the 6th and drove in his 3rd run of the season. Got a chance to drive in another one here with the speedy Romy Gonzalez on second base. You would think a single to the outfield would do the job as Orleans pursues an insurance run. First pitch to Riley misses away, and the count is 1-0. Naples, the 3rd Chatham pitcher of the evening. Luciani started 4 innings of shutout ball. Then Silva gave up 4 runs in 2 innings of work. Here's the pitch, check swing, ground ball, foul. Wide of third. Count evens up at 1-1. Silva in line for the loss. Jake Wong in line for the win. It will be the first time this season a member of the Firebirds bullpen will get a decision in a game. The first 8 have all gone to starters. 1-1 the count. Naples ready, checks on Gonzalez, and delivers. Swung on and ripped into left center field, but coming on and making the play is Roberts to end the inning. So the Firebirds put 2 runners on but cannot score. We're through 7, Firebirds 4, Anglers 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park as we move to the top of the 8th inning. 4-3 Orleans on top of Chatham. The Anglers send their 3-4-5 hitters to the plate. Shea Langoliers, Nick Patton, and Austin Edens due up as Langoliers digs in. 1 for 2. He walked in the first, grounded out in the third, doubled and was stranded at second in the 5th. Here's the first pitch from Daniels, who struck out the side back in the 7th inning, and he takes a ball. 1-0 the count on the catcher from Baylor. As Daniels works in his 2nd inning out of the bullpen as a check swing, and going around, according to the first base umpire, was Langoliers. The count evens up at 1-1 strike. Lou DeLewis making the call. 1-1 the count. Activity out in the Orleans bullpen. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped into left field. Coming on is Steven Scott, and he makes a shoestring catch for the first out of the inning.
Scott initially went back on that ball as that looked like it was going to hang up in the air a little longer than it did. His initial step was back and came in, able to make that very low catch, shoestring like you mentioned there, Noah, but always better to go back first and come in as opposed to the other way around.
So So Nick Patton will dig in now. First baseman out of Delaware. A couple strikeouts and a single on the night. And he takes a breaking ball over the inside corner for a strike. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs coming in. He picked up his 8th RBI back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Right over the top of a curveball. And quickly ahead 0-2 is Brett Daniels. Eden's on deck. If anyone can get on, Cody Roberts would hit for the Anglers. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and turning out of the way was Nick Patton, ball 1. 1-2 the count. It's Daniels to the set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went fishing after a low breaking ball, and he becomes the 4th strikeout victim for Brett Daniels, and there's 2 down.
A lot of strikeouts so far for Orleans. That makes it 15.
So here's Edens. We'll dig in from the right-hand side. 0 for 2, walked in the 2nd, also flew out and struck out looking. First pitch from Daniels. Swung on and fouled back out of play. 0-1 the count on the Chatham designated hitter. We'll see the Anglers again on the 4th of July at Eldridge Park. First game of a home-and-home as Eden swings and fouls one back to the screen. The only 2 remaining teams in the Cape League that start their games at 7 p.m. Now, originally, all the teams without lights would start at 5, and all the teams with lights would start at 7, but that has changed. Teams opting to start at 6 and 6:30 as well. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he took a breaking ball high. Count is 1-2.
Wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe if you're a fan nearby another stadium, you catch the end of one game and then go straight to another.
The 1-2 is grounded to short. Charging is Hotby on to first, and plenty of time to get Edens. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brett Daniels, who has set down all 6 Anglers he has faced. We move to the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 Orleans on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. back at Eldridge Park. So we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, 4-3 Firebirds. They have the lead. The new Chatham pitcher is Andre Palante out of UC Irvine. He replaces Eli Naples, who goes 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, walked 1, and struck out 1. Did not allow any runners to cross the plate despite putting 2 Firebirds on base in the inning. As Palante, the right-hander, climbs to the top of the mound and now wants to speak with his catcher Langoliers before the inning can get underway.
Probably just going over some new signs between these guys. Maybe a little bit of confusion. This is the only game still going on in the Cape League.
Palante making his season debut for Chatham. As he looks in, Cesar Salazar 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run, which put Orleans ahead back in the 6th. Here's the pitch. That's taken high. 1-0 the count. It was the 3rd Orleans home run of the season. Chatham has 5 up to this point, but none tonight. Both of the previous 2 home runs for Orleans came in that second game of the Falmouth doubleheader. Here's the pitch, and that one skips past everybody and off the backstop. 2-0 the count. Jax Groshans and Jimmy Herron responsible for the other 2 long balls for Orleans this season. Herron's, of course, being a grand slam. That's how he has 4 of his 6 RBIs. 2-0 the count on Salazar. And here's the pitch. That's inside. 3-0. Stephen Scott is on deck, still looking for his first hit, and then Kevin Stroshine also scheduled to hit here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Orleans looks for an insurance run. So we expect to see Josh Hyatt come in a save situation in the top half of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch, and taking all the way, it's ball 4, missed inside, and Salazar trots down to first. It's a 4-pitch walk as Palante walks the first batter he faces this season. That'll bring up Stephen Scott. A couple flyouts and a ground out for Scott. The ground out coming on a bunt back to the pitcher when Naples was on the mound. Excuse me, when Silva was on the mound. That was his last at bat. He did not get a chance to face Naples. Here's the pitch, and showing bunt again, and he pulls back but takes a strike over the outside corner, 0-1.
And we might see Orleans try to manufacture a run here. If you can tack on 1 or 2 more in this inning, maybe you can get away with not using Josh Hyatt.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 over the outside corner. 0-2 the count. All of Orleans' runs this evening have come against Nick Silva, mentioned the nephew of Alex Rodriguez, who lasted 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. But besides that, Chatham's pitching has been solid. Luciani a good start. Naples worked around a couple base runners in his 1 inning of work. Now Palante looking to keep Chatham within striking distance here in the 8th inning. 0-2 pitch to Scott as he chops it foul, wide of first. Count stays 0-2.
And getting back to the pitching scenario, if you can get this out to a 3 or 4 run lead, maybe you leave Brett Daniels in for another inning. He hasn't gone all the way through the Chatham order yet. You could stretch him for another 3 batters, and if he runs into trouble there, you've got Hyatt ready to relieve him.
Here's the 0-2. Misses off the outside corner.
Plus, looking ahead, too, Orleans does have a doubleheader on Sunday as well, so that's another situation to monitor. Just because arms may be at a premium when you play 14 innings against Catuit on Sunday.
Orleans has not technically had an off day yet. One game that they did not have an official game. They played 2 innings against YD before it was called due to weather. As that pitch misses off the outside corner, a breaking ball from Palante, and the count evens up at 2-2.
They will get one on Monday, though, barring any rainouts.
Looks pretty good in the near future. After a couple wet days early in the season, weather has come around here on the Cape. Here's the 2-2 to Scott. Swinging a ground ball to second base. Should only be one play. And that is to second base and not in time, as beating the throw is Cesar Salazar. So a fielder's choice by Scott. And I was sure that McGee would throw to first on that, as Salazar got a good jump out of first base. The ball was not hit very hard, but turning and trying to get the lead runner was McGee, and his throw to Pena not in time. So a fielder's choice, and there's runners on first and second with nobody out. And here comes Ethan Paul. And now Orleans will pull back Paul, as Cole Austin out of West Virginia will come to the plate from the right-hand side. Excuse me, actually it's Kevin Stroshine who is pulled out. And we see why now, as Austin showing bunt, and he takes a ball high.
And this is where you need to capitalize if you are Orleans. Get this bunt down right here. Move these runners into scoring position, and Ethan Paul, a guy who we saw yesterday has some power with the 2 doubles, but after that, Romy Gonzalez is 3 for 3 today.
Showing bunt again. Way in is the first baseman, and the bunt is foul. Patton playing just a few feet away from Cole Austin, who is going to have to put this down the third base line or somehow get it past the first baseman Patton. Count is 1-1. So it's Ethan Paul who's on deck. He is in the on-deck circle, so it looks like he will get a chance to hit, as Stroshine, after an 0 for 3 day, or 1 for 3 day, is pulled, as there's a ball high, fastball. It's 2-1. Stroshine did single back in the second inning, but Austin coming into bunt. Digs back in from the right-hand side. Palante delivers, pulls back again. 3-1. So no place to put him if you're Andre Palante. So walk is even better than a sacrifice bunt. And showing bunt again will be Cole Austin. Here's the pitch from Palante, and he drops it down the third base line. That'll get the job done. The throw on to first in time, but Cole Austin comes in. A pinch hit sacrifice bunt, and now Ethan Paul will get a chance to give Orleans at least a 2-run lead.
That was a great bunt there by Austin. Drove that right down that third base line. Sacrifice bunts have been a very tough act so far for Orleans. We've really only seen one, and it was on a suicide squeeze by Jeff Hotby.
What an opportunity here for Ethan Paul, who had 2 doubles yesterday, drove in a run. Second and third, 1 out. Orleans leads 4-3 here in the 8th inning. And the pitch. Swung on and chopped to short. That will not get the job done, as Pena makes the play and throws on to first. Holding at third was Salazar, with the infield pulled in. No chance, but there comes Romy Gonzalez, who's 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
Now, Pena doesn't have eyes on the back of his head over at short, but I think if he turned around, he could have slapped a tag right on Steven Scott if he tried to look him back. Scott got a pretty big secondary lead out there at second base.
2 outs, bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Firebirds. Palante kicks and fires, and Gonzalez takes a strike. So you would think that Gonzalez is brimming with confidence, has recovered after a tough start to the season, has started hitting for Orleans. Came in at .235, but he's 3 for 3 on the night. to make that 4 for 4 as Palante is ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back off the padded backstop. And the count is 0-2. So Palante, after a walk, a fielder's choice, in which Chatham did not record an out, and a sacrifice bunt, is a strike away from getting out of the inning unscathed. No balls and 2 strikes on Romy Gonzalez. To the set is Palante. He kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away.
We saw Gonzalez spark a 2-out rally back in the 5th when he scored off the Hotby double. Maybe some more 2-out magic in his bat right here.
1-2 the count. Palante peers in. He's got his sign. And the 1-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Check swing, and he certainly went around. Strike 3 on a breaking ball down and away. First time Gonzalez has been retired tonight. So that's going to have to do for the Firebirds as they call upon Josh Hyatt to wrap this one up. We've played 8, Firebirds 4, Anglers 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts, we move to the top of the 9th inning. Josh Hyatt is on to try to lock up his 2nd save of the season and give the Firebirds their 3rd consecutive win. He will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in this Chatham lineup. Cody Roberts, Ashton McGee, and Jimmy Titus are scheduled. As Roberts, the left fielder, Hyatt's college teammate, digs in from the right-hand side. Both of them Tar Heels, and the first pitch, swing and a miss at a high fastball for strike 1. So far this season, Hyatt has made 2 appearances, pitched 3 innings, given up 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 5. 0-0 record with a save. That coming earlier this week. Here's the pitch, and that's over the outside corner, 0-2. So if Chatham falls here, it would be their 3rd consecutive defeat, and they would fall into a 3rd place tie with Orleans on points. Both of them would have 8. Here's the 0-2 from Hyatt. Swung on and fouled off. He was late on that pitch. Kind of an inside-out swing as he lines it over the Orleans dugout into the protective netting. Count stays 0-2.
A lot of hitters late on Hyatt. It's tough to pick up that ball when it comes out of his hand, too, as he comes all the way across his body. Hides it well.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fouled off again. Hyatt's teammate, Brett Daniels, is out of the game, but not before tossing 2 fantastic innings for the Firebirds. 2 perfect innings, in which he struck out 4, as Daniels made his second appearance of the season. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him looking, buckled his knees, and down goes Cody Roberts. So his college teammate strikes him out. And now another college teammate of Josh Hyatt, Ashton McGee, the second baseman, will dig in. McGee, 1 for 3, couple strikeouts and an infield single, was stranded on third back in the 4th inning. Another backwards K against Chatham. Have not been shy about striking out tonight. First pitch misses up and away. As Hyatt looks back in, here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Titus on the on-deck circle. 1 out, 9th inning, 4-3 Firebirds. Here's the 1-1, and that is down and away. 2-1 the count. Well, you would think that Hyatt knows McGee as well as Roberts well, playing with them all season. Swung on and fouled off again. Neither have really been able to get around on a pitch so far.
Now, you'd think that, they play together, so maybe he hasn't figured out. Well, they probably never face each other, too.
Here's the 2-2. Misses inside. Hopping out of the way was Ashton McGee. Well, there have been 5 Tar Heels in the game tonight. 3 on the Orleans side, 2 on the Chatham side. 2 of them facing off here. Here's the payoff pitch. And that misses down and away. So Chatham have put the tying run on. It's a 1-out walk issued to Ashton McGee, and that will bring up Jimmy Titus. 3rd walk of the season issued by Hyatt. Titus will dig in from the right-hand side. The 3rd baseman out of Bryant. The number 9 hitter, Jeremy Pena, on deck. Titus 0 for 3, couple strikeouts and a ground out. First pitch is a ball. 1-0 the count. Looked like that missed a little down and away. Hyatt climbs the mound once again. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. Should be routine. Moving in and over to his left is the second baseman, Ethan Paul, who puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning. So Josh Hyatt an out away.
A little dangerous right there. Looked like Paul caught that one right on the palm. Almost bounced out, it looked like, but did secure it with 2 hands. Good fundamental baseball right there.
Here's Jeremy Lin. 0 for 3, did reach on a wild pitch on a strike 3 call, as his first pitch is down and away and backhanded by Cesar Salazar, who keeps it in front of him. 1 ball, no strikes. On the Chatham shortstop, Hyatt ready, kicks and fires, swing and a miss, blew it right past him. Another fastball. Counts 1-1.
Be very risky for Chatham to try to steal a bag here, but Hyatt does take his time with that delivery, a big leg kick. A lot of arm movement too.
Here's the 1-1. That's over for a strike. Fastball right below the letters, and now the count is 1-2. Anglers down to their last strike, in danger of dropping their 3rd consecutive game after they started the season 4-1. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Josh Hyatt. off the outside corner, 2-2. A fair number of fans have stuck around as they await Orleans possibly picking up their 4th win of the season as time is called by Jeremy Pena, who adjusts his shin guard and steps out. Now he's back in. 2-2 the count. Hyatt kicks and fires. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and that'll do it. The Orleans Firebirds win the first matchup between these rivals in 2017. The final score 4-3. Winning pitcher Jake Wong. The save goes to Josh Hyatt, while Nick Silva is saddled with the loss. The big blow, a 2-run go-ahead home run by Cesar Salazar in the 6th inning. And the Firebirds have won 3 in a row. They've won 4 out of their last 5. And they're now 4-5 and a game away from 500 as they head to Wareham for a matchup with the Gatemen on Friday night. Once again, the final score, Orleans 4, Chatham 3. We'll take a quick break. Be back with a moment with some post-game. Firebirds win it. Final score once again, 4-3. We'll be back in a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Eldridge Park, the Orleans Firebirds rally for a 4-3 victory over the Chatham Anglers in the first of 6 regular season meetings between these East Division rivals. The winning pitcher once again is Jake Wong, who goes 2 2/3 out of the bullpen. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Did get some help on a fantastic defensive play by Jeff Hotby diving up the middle to catch a line drive. Brett Daniels also fantastic out of the bullpen. 2 perfect innings in which he struck out 4, and Josh Hyatt locks down the save. He had a couple strikeouts, walked 1. Obviously no runs for the closer out of North Carolina. The loss for the Anglers goes to Nick Silva, who went 2 innings, giving up all 4 runs. 5 hits, no walk, 3 strikeouts for him. And again, the big blow tonight, Tyler, is off the bat of Cesar Salazar, who launches a 2-run home run as the Firebirds take this 4-3.
And Salazar, we've seen the timely hitting all season long. But not just that, I mean, this Orleans team, the 7 left on base doesn't look great, but that's better than it has been in the past, so you're making progress there. Not to mention, you manufacture a run with 2 outs. Just an all-around good, resilient effort by this Firebirds team to come out and steal a win here on their home field.
And the big story again for Orleans is the bullpen, which was great after Graham Stinson allowed 3 runs in 3 1/3 innings. The bullpen comes in, tosses 5 2/3 innings of shutout ball against a team that was the highest scoring club in the Cape League. They had 44 runs over their first 7 games, only 3 tonight, as Orleans takes it 4-3. Their final line score, Chatham with 2 runs in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. They end with 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, 6 left on base. Orleans with a run in the 5th and then 3 in the 6th. 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Another clean game defensively for Orleans, and they leave 7 on base, as you mentioned. So that'll do it for us. Orleans is on the road for the next 2 games. They're in Wareham for their first of 2 trips to visit the Gatemen this season. First pitch will be at 6:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. We'll have pregame at 6:20, and then away to Harwich for their first matchup with the Mariners this season on Saturday before returning home for a doubleheader against the Catuit Cavaliers. So once again, the final score here, Firebirds 4, Anglers 3. That'll do it for us. For Tyler Rocky, I'm Noah Johnson saying good night from Eldridge Park.